Good afternoon to all. Myself, Dr. K. Pungudi, Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Director, Center for Construction Materials and Methods, SR University, Warangal, Telangana State, India. The course name is Construction Planning and Scheduling. This course consists of fundamentals of construction planning, types of construction projects, types of plans, key stakeholders and their roles, project activities and coding system, project life cycle in construction, types of schedules, WBS, work breakdown structure, critical path method, activity sequences in critical path method, rules in critical path method, AD start time, AD finish time, latest start time and latest finish time, float and its types, CPM problem, introduction to PERT, difference between CPM and PERT, 3-time estimate, construction of PERT network and its rules, other problems related to PERT network. These are the content of the course. And the first topic, that is the fundamentals of the construction planning. It contains definition of the construction planning and scheduling, importance, scope of the planning, objectives of the construction planning, stages of the construction planning, project life cycle, key components, stakeholders, challenges in construction, and summary about the class. A definition for construction planning and scheduling. The construction planning and scheduling is the process of organizing all project activities, and it includes the collection of all needed resources to execute and complete the work within the specified time frame, ensure quality to be maintained and establishing effective communication protocols and follow the agreements, rules and regulations. So it includes that starting from the organizing, collecting and the following of the time frame and ensure the quality and effective communication by following rules and regulations. See then, this triangle is very important in construction. Here, the triangle vertex are cost, scope and time, or time, cost, scope. Like that we can take. For each and every project, the starting date and the completion date should be there. Normally, 18 months is the construction project duration for normal project. The rare projects are there, that is infrastructure projects. That projects are not able to complete within 18 years, like road project, airport construction, harbor construction, even highway construction also. That projects are not come under this 18 months project duration. Remaining projects are normal projects. That normal projects, the duration is, maximum duration is 18 months. Then cost vary, depends upon the type of the project and scope of the project. What is the aim of the project? What are the resources to be used? What are the type of the labors are needed? Like that, the scope is different, and there is no compromise with the quality. Since the construction project, the duration of the project uh, is more than 100 years. Even though we are designed for 100 years or 120 years, but with the help of factor of safety, the projects should withstand for more than 120 or 150 years. So that much duration all the projects should complete, and the project life cycle should complete, means there should not be no compromise with quality. So where there is without adjusting the quality within the time constraint, within the cost available and within the specified scope, all the things we have to complete the project. So this is very important triangle. Each and every project management student related to construction must know the things. So here, the triangle with the quality. So triangle is time, cost, scope, TCS, with no compromise of quality. And here, critical constraints in project. In construction project, everything is constraint only. Since normally we are not able to complete any project with this specific schedule, since the constraints are much more, then resources are always limited, budget also limited, quality, the standards are very high standards we are following, then scope for each and every activity, the scope is different, and the risk is totally uh, the risk in the construction project is more than 100 percentage. So all the things are constrained in the project management only. So a project should be completed within the specific time with the without any compromise with the quality. Means the role of the project manager is very important. So a project manager must concentrate on all these things from schedule, resources, budget, quality, scope, and risk. So here, if we are able to know that each and every word's importance, then the project manager's role will be somewhat better. And first phase, what is construction planning means? It determines the project goal, what are the deliverables and expected outcomes. And it divides the project into manageable tasks and activities. It identify and allocate manpower, materials, equipment and technology for each and every activities, and the sequencing of activities must be followed. So we have to arrive the different sequencing of activities and establishing the realistic timelines. Then we have to forecast expenses and aligning with the financial resources, identifying potential risk and creating contingency plans, then establishing standards, specifications and inspection procedures, ensure the compliance with the safety laws and sustainable practices. So this is very important, the first phase. Here, as a project manager, we must know everything from the goal to the practices. So what is project goal and what are the different activities, and for completing each and every activity, what are the type of sources needed, and type of sources varying from manpower, that is manpower, same manpower is not able to use for all type of activities. Then materials are totally different, and materials to be taken procured from different places. And nowadays without equipment we are not able to complete the project within the schedule. So what are the specific equipments needed, and the equipment cost is much more. So we have the specific plan for the equipment, and the equipment manager role is crucial in this activities. Then technology is daily updating, so we have to update the available technologies and the upcoming technologies also. So like that, nowadays we have to follow the sustainable development goals with the sustainable practices. Then construction planning, what is the second phase means, we have to define activities and schedules. So one complete project, suppose we are taking the residential building, then the residential building, what are the activities are there? That activities we can taken from the site cleaning to the completion of the project. Site cleaning, then setting out of the work, then after that excavation of the foundation, then completion of the foundation. Before that we have to procure the materials, and the procured materials should be stored in the specific places. Before that, water to be arranged, EB should be available, access roads should be available. So like that, we have to uh, arrive lot of activities, and each and every activity, what is the time duration needed, what is the starting time and what is the finishing time for each and every activity, and what is the percentage of money needed to complete the particular activity. So like that, we have to arrive the different activities with the schedules. Then it ensures the timely completion of the project. If one activity planning is planned in very good manner and it is able to complete within the specific time, then the remaining activities we are able to follow easily, and finally we are able to complete the entire project within the available time, and it helps to allocate the resources effectively. So the resources, different materials are needed for each and every activity. Nowadays, the project's durations are very constrained, so that we have to utilize different materials and the advanced materials, and we have to follow with the sustainable development goals, and we have to protect the environment, and the carbon emissions should be controlled. So by considering all these things, the resources to be allocated, and the resources are always constraints in any construction project. It reduces the wastages and reduce the downtime, so the cost is able to control easily. So the effective construction planning aims the wastages. If we are able to reduce the wastages, then normally 2% cost can be controlled. Downtime means if equipments are not in working condition, but without that equipment the work is not able to complete, then that time is called as the downtime, and we have to reduce the downtime, or downtime must be zero, so that we are able to control the cost. And standards and specifications. Here, related to civil engineering, the standards are very important and specifications are very important. For standards, we have lot of code books. So, as a project manager, we must know the particular code book for particular work. Suppose we are taking that reinforcement details. Then for that IS 456 2000 is important. Now the code book will be updated. So what is the updated version and what is the difference between the old version and the new version? Like that, the project manager must be aware of that, and specifications for each and every material and the working procedure. The specifications are very important. Suppose we are taking that how to calculate the grade of the cement. Nowadays, grade of the cement, the important two types are, one is OPC and PPC. Nowadays, OPC fully controlled, since the PPC is very good when compared with the OPC related to the SDG. So, if we are using the OPC, then what is the quality of the cement, how to arrive the quality of the cement, how to control it, for all the things, the specifications are very important. And there is no compromise with the quality also. So once anyone as a project manager we want to work, then standards and specifications we must be thorough, then only we are able to maintain the quality. Then the communication and coordination should be improved among all the stakeholders. Since in the construction project, the biggest constraint is the communication issue and the coordination problem. Since communication from top level to bottom level, the communication flow should be normal and it should be effectively reached to everyone. Unless otherwise, the 16 mm dia rod can be understood by 6 mm rod, then the entire procedure will be wrong. And coordination, since here lot of groups want to work in the construction works. Here, suppose a few people, a group of people we want to take, that means the equipment handling people will not handle the materials, the material people will not handle that reinforcement details, the barbenders never involved with the concreting work, the concrete workers never involved with the paint, the painters never coordinate with the tiling works. So like that, here each and every activity a group of people are there. So coordination between among all the group of people is very important. As a project manager, the role is very important to maintain the coordination. Since one work should be completed, then only we are able to start the another work. That framework is finished to start. If without completion of the foundation work, we are not able to initiate for the built concrete. So foundation work, the group of people is different. Built concrete, the group of people will be different. Schedule is different, activity is different. So how we are able to effectively coordinate the particular group is very very important. And it helps to meet the legal, safety and environmental rules and regulations. Then productivity is improved by following the workflow. It is helpful to improve the client satisfaction by handovering the project as per the rules and agreements. And construction planning ensures the timely completion. Unless otherwise, we have to pay penalty, and we are not able to join with the another projects. The efficient use of manpower, machinery, and materials, so that we can able to avoid the wastages and avoid the budget overruns. Since for foundation work, 20 percentage is the cost, means within that 20 percentage or 18 percentage, the work should be completed. Then maintain the desired quality. This is very very important parameter. There is no compromise with the quality. Then facilitate smooth collaboration among the different type of the stakeholders. Next, what are the stages of the construction planning? This construction planning is of four stages. One is with the pre-planning stage, detailed planning stage, resource allocation stage, then monitoring and controlling stage. Before going to the stages of the construction planning, we must know that what are the stages of the construction. Stages of the stages of the construction is pre-construction stage, construction stage and the post-construction stage. Pre-construction stage, the construction planning and scheduling will involve, and in that pre-construction stage we are involved with the pre-planning, detailed planning, resource allocation, monitoring and controlling. So everything should be completed before going to the construction at the site. So what do you mean by construction stage? Means whatever the things available in the paper, that should be simply transferred to the ground. That is the construction. So here pre-planning stage itself involves nearly 25 percentage of the work. What is the 25 percentage of the work? Means all the works must be available in the paper. So in the paper we have the clear cut idea that when the project will start, who are the group leaders, what are the type of the materials needed, how much time, how much day needed to complete one activity, in that what are the constraints, in that what are the local holidays, what is the climatic conditions, where the equipments needed, or with the manual itself we are able to complete the work. Means how to execute the procedure, like that we have to, we have the complete plan in our hand. So in that, what is pre-planning stage? The pre-planning stage, with the help of that, we are able to clearly understand the project requirements and objectives. So objectives are very very important. Then only we are able to divide the project into different activities. Then we have to conduct feasibility studies, site investigations, and we have to prepare the initial cost. Without feasibility study, we are not able to go for the detailed study. So the feasibility study is very very important, and with the help of the feasibility study we are able to understand that what are the issues are there at the site. Since simply we are not able to transfer the paperwork into the ground, so whenever we are able to transfer the work from paper to ground, then only we are able to know about the constraints. So with the help of the feasibility studies, we are able to know about the issues in the site. The best example is water table. We know that this is the soil condition and this is the depth of the foundation needed, all the things available in the paper. But suppose we are digging the ground for the foundation, the water table is more and the water is occupying that particular pit, then we are not able to do anything. So with the help of the paper, we are not able to complete the project, complete the project within the time. So here at the ground, uh, what is the feasibility to complete the particular work is very very important. Then site investigation, is it rocky area or soil area or black cotton soil or riverside is rivers are nearby, available water is normal water or salt water. So like that, the site investigation is very very important. Then prepare for the initial cost. So with the preparation of the initial cost, the pre-planning stage will be completed. Then come to the detailed planning stage. In the detailed planning stage, we can go for the WBS. WBS is nothing but development of the work breakdown structure. Whatever may be the biggest task, if we are able to divide into number of activities, the number of activities may be in terms of 100 also, no problem. And each and small small activities, if we want to divide, then completion of the project is not at all a matter. So divide the entire work into small small activities is named as the work breakdown structure. Then allocation of the resources. So for each and every activity, how much quantity of the materials needed and which quality, and where it is available, who are the suppliers. Like that, if we are able to know that, then allocation of the resources is not at all a matter. Then by allocating the resources, how much money needed and where what are the sources of the money. With that, we are able to complete the detailed planning stage. Then resource allocation stage, here we have to assign the task to the particular team. Then plan safety measures and quality control process. So here, for the particular activity, how much resources needed and who will do that particular work. So we can assign the particular team. Then safety measures, that is very very important. So we must follow the safety procedures and we can able to achieve the quality easily. Then monitoring and controlling stage. Monitoring and controlling stage, here it is the systematic process of observing, measuring and evaluating the activities, resources and progress while executing. So at the time, uh, when we want to execute the work, how to monitor, what are the standards, what are the specifications, like that we have to observe systematically. So these are the four important stages which are in the pre-construction stage. So pre-planning, detailed planning, resource allocation and monitoring and controlling stages. Next one is the project life cycle. Project life cycle, the term is very crucial since it involves with the initiation to the completion of the project. So here the construction project life cycle is a structured approach that outlines the stages involved in completing a construction project from inception to completion. And it typically includes the 5 key phases. With the first, we have to initiate the work, then plan the work, then execution of the work, monitoring of the work, then control and closure. So here each and every stage is very very important. So if we are able to plan like that, how to initiate, what are the, how to plan the work, then how to implement or execute the work, then how to monitor, then finally closure of the work. So once the work is closed, work is completed and we are able to hand over the completion certificate to the client, then the project life cycle in construction is completed. The role of the project manager will be successfully completed. And what are the key elements? The key elements in the construction planning and scheduling is, we have to start with the stakeholder need. Who is the client and what is his need? We have to understand clearly. Then what are the objectives of the project and what are are the deliverables and due dates? Then what is the project schedule? Then roles and responsibilities of the different groups, project budget, then communication plan, tracking and management tools. So with this key elements, we are able to complete each and every activity successfully. So who are the stakeholders? Here, stakeholder is nothing but here owner is the stakeholder, our client is the stakeholder, and what are the objectives? The objectives may be of the construction of the residential building, construction of the commercial building, construction of the road project or dam project, like that. What are the objectives? Then deliverable and due dates. What is the completion date and what are the stages of the completion? What are the dates for the stages of the completion is important. Then project schedule, when the foundation will complete, when the masonry work will be completed, when the roof concrete work will be completed, then when the parapet work will be completed, like that we must need the schedule for each and every activity. That includes the project schedule. Then roles and responsibilities. First we have to fix the team and we must fix that either it may be of positive or negative, who is the in charge for that criteria. So if we are fixing that, if foundation means whatever may be the question arised, then we want to ask that XRV. He is the in charge, he is the head for the foundation work completion. Like that, if we are able to fix then roles and responsibilities, then the work completion will be safe. Then project budget, to complete the particular stage of the project, what is the percentage of the budget and where the money is available, how to get the money, how to submit the money, how to, when to, we have to submit the money, like that. The things are very very important. Then communication, whatever may be the assignments are there, it should be communicated clearly, especially the reinforcement details, then cover of the reinforcement, spacing between the reinforcement, how to carry over the works, what is the quality of the cement, what is the quantity of the cement, what is mixed design, and how the water cement ratio to be controlled. So everything should be communicated properly to the particular team people. Then how to track with the help of the management tools. If we are able to track with the help of BIM, then it will be very good and we are able to maintain the quality. So these are the key elements available to effective construction planning and scheduling. Next, challenges in the construction. Without challenges, no project manager is able to complete any project. So here, the first problem is cost overrun. Like that, if we want to list out cost overrun, time delay, labor issue, material management, quality control, safety, technology changes, climatic issues, communication gap, local holidays, non-stable material cost and accidents. These are the challenges for each and every project manager of any project. So we have to overcome all these things with the effective plan before going to the particular site. Always the cost will be overrun and it should be under the control of the project manager. Since suppose the foundation cost not able to balance with the masonry cost, the masonry cost not able to balance with the reinforcement cost, and the reinforcement cost never balanced with the concrete cost. So for each and every work, what is the percentage of the cost, what is the total cost in that and how it should be settled, that is, that plan is very very important. Then time delays, we have to avoid the time delays within that week. So within that week, if we have the plan to complete that built concrete, suppose it is not completed, not able to complete, then how we are able to complete that within the allotted time? By applying the extra labors or by doing the extra shift. So That plan, always the plan B should be there to complete the each and every activity so that we are able to avoid the time delays. Then labor issues are very common in construction sites, since the labors are nowadays not the local labors. The labors are their issues will be totally different, and their constraint is different, and we have to take care of from their health, from their family issues, and all the things we have to consider. Then material management, the material manager, his role is very important. Even everything is available at the lab, available at the site. Without the materials we can't able to execute the work. So uh, how here ABC analysis will be very helpful. ABC is nothing but always better control. How to we are able to achieve that ABC means, here each and every material how it can be stored. For cement storage and the specification is totally different. The airtight compartment or rooms are needed to store the cement, and the fine aggregate and coarse aggregate, the store is totally different. It can be stored in the open atmosphere also. But the reinforcement should not be kept in the open environment. It should be protected. And the paint and the remaining valuable materials, for that the specific place is needed. So here procurement of material is important, and other than that how the material can be stored and how it can be supplied when it is needed is very important. So the material management is a crucial point and important point. Quality control, then safety. By avoiding the accidents we are able to maintain the safety, and we have to update the each and every day the technological changes. Then climatic issues, since now at India, the tropical country, during April and May, the temperature will rise. So at the time, the barbenders can work at the night times. Even few stages, we have the GO also. The barbenders should not work at the daytime. So like that, we have to consider then when the rainy days, when the hot summer days, and how to overcome the climatic issues. Then we have to avoid the communication gap. Then we have to consider the local holidays, and the material costs are always not constant. Daily it is increasing or varying. So how to control the material cost, how to balance that economic order quantity, that is EOQ. So every project manager must know the EOQ and their concepts. Then finally, the accidents must be avoided. Without accident itself, we are able to complete the project successfully. And with this, we are able to conclude that first class. The first class is the fundamentals of the construction planning. In that, we discussed about the resources, work breakdown structure, project life cycle, and the key elements with the constraints. And the second class is about the introduction to the second class is type of construction project. The type of construction project start with the individual residential building to the infrastructure developments like transportation and dam structures and etc. That type of projects we will see in the next class. Thank you.